So you're new to the fitness world and you've been watching YouTube videos, you've been reading stuff, you've been asking other friends who go to the gym and kind of asking around, trying to figure out what in the world to do to start. It's complicated, I get it, but it doesn't have to be. And I want to kind of guide you for what the first things you should be focusing on are if you're just starting off on this fitness journey. So get ready for episode 128, strap in, and let's go.
I've always been that skinny guy.
Why can't I gain muscle mass?
What do I do in the gym?
They said I'd always be skinny.
This is your complete source for how to gain lean muscle and break out of your skinny body. From nutrition to getting the most out of your workouts and everything in between. We know just how frustrating gaining muscle mass can be, but don't worry, we've got you covered. You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast. Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody. I will be your host today. And before we dive into today's content, if you have not checked out our YouTube channel, please head over and do so. Not if you're driving, but if you're just listening to this, chilling, go check it out. YouTube.com/bones to bulk. I do a lot of videos that coincide with the podcast episodes. I do a lot of workouts, demonstrate a lot of exercises, meal prep, all kinds of stuff on there. So please head on over, take a look. Again, YouTube.com/bones to bulk and subscribe to the channel. I would be greatly appreciative of that. All right, let's dive into today's content. So when it comes to starting off, it can be so overwhelming and there's so much misinformation out there and everybody tells you, you have to do this and you have to do this. And you know, my friend tried this 30-day diet and it worked for them and keto worked for her and carnivore worked for him and all this stuff. And you're just like, what the hell do I believe? Because it's so freaking overwhelming and everybody has an opinion on this stuff. And first off, let me just tell you, there is not a one size fits all to fitness. No two people will always have the exact same results. Even if they were to follow the exact same regimen and everything, they're still going to have a little bit different results. And the reason for that is because we all have different body compositions. We're all starting at different points and we can't compare our transformation story directly to someone else's. Now, that's not to say there aren't foundational things that you should be implementing that will benefit all people, but to just understand going in that your story is unique. It's not a one-size-fits-all with fitness, as much as some people try to make it out to be. And second off, I want to say stay away from anything that is a fad workout, a fad diet plan. And what I mean by that is something that has just suddenly popped up and gained huge popularity. I'm going to throw keto out there because if y'all listened to the podcast before, or if maybe this is your first time, I'm not a fan of keto. I'm not a fan of carnivore. There are so many good carbohydrates out there that our bodies need for proper energy. I just think you feel so much better when you're eating good carbohydrates. And then not even to mention carnivore, like, I'm sorry, I don't see how we can think it's healthy to not eat vegetables and fruit. Like, how is that even remotely a good thing? But I won't get into all that. What I'm saying, though, is avoid anything trendy because trendiness does not work with fitness. Now, so what does? And that's what I want to steer you on. So first off, obviously working out. Where do you begin? Well, first, let me recommend you take it slow. Don't go in there and try to kill it and crush it and I'm going to be a beast and I'm going to show off and leave your ego at the door, go in and really evaluate and observe. And I know that might sound weird, but your first week or two in the gym, do a lot of just I'm not trying to make this sound creepy or anything, but watch people. And I don't mean in a creepy way, but pay attention, pick out some people who seem like they're in really good shape, who know what they're doing, and just kind of watch what they do. And maybe go up and introduce yourself and ask them hey, I see that you're doing this. Why are you doing that? I'm just starting off. I'm looking for any tips. People are more than willing to talk to you. Don't interrupt somebody while they're in the middle of their reps. But if they're just kind of walking around or on their phone, go up to them when it seems like it's a good opportune time and just kind of pick their brain a little bit. Don't be afraid to start off on machines rather than the weight section because machines are, the machine can only move in one particular way. And so you're not going to screw up the range of motion on it because you can't make the machine go a different way than what it's designed to. So it helps you get in the proper way to lift for a lot of exercises. Also, there's the little labels on them that'll help you to understand how the machine works. Don't be afraid to read those. I know when I started off, I was primarily all on machines And I like read the crap out of those labels. Like, this says to move it this way and it says it works out this muscle. And like those things are helpful. And don't think that, I'm going to look like a noob if I do that. Like, who cares? You're there for you. And the fact that you're in there improving yourself, that's all that matters. So that would be my first suggestion is when you go in the gym is pay attention to other people and start off on machines. Then as you start to graduate into weights, it's the same concept. Go slow. Don't try to kill it. Don't try to pick up the 100-pound dumbbells your first time picking up dumbbells. Like, just be smart. Go lightweight. Focus on your form. Do what you know to do. And then gradually add to it. You can watch a ton of YouTube videos. Shoot, I have a ton of YouTube videos that demonstrate dumbbell exercises and different exercises. So you can go on there and you can get a baseline for some very foundational movements to do. And then you can add to your repertoire from there. You can add in extra exercises, but get that foundation established first before you start trying to get fancy in the gym. All right, the second thing is your food. Don't try to do this all at once because it's a journey. And we've lived however long and we have all these patterns of eating and all these habits of eating. And, food is a powerful thing. Food actually can convey up emotion in us. Certain smells can remind us of things from our childhood or from a spouse, or like we have memories associated with a lot of food. Maybe it's like special food that's made on holidays and it brings back all these memories. And so food has a very powerful hold over us. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just something that we have to recognize and understand when we're going in and we're like, okay, I'm going to change the way I eat. You've got to do it in baby steps, because if you try to just go in and throw everything out, like all or nothing approach, you're going to probably do fine for a few days, and then your body's going to be starting to have crazy cravings, and then you're just going to go back to stuff. And you're going to be like, screw it, this didn't work for me. These cravings are too strong, yada, yada. Whereas if you take it in baby steps and you decide, hey, you know what? This week I'm giving up cookies, and you give up cookies for that week and you go strong on that for a couple weeks, and then week 3 comes around and you're like, you know what, I'm going to give up Doritos, and week 3, 4, 5 go by and you're not having cookies, you're not having Doritos, and you're like, I'm going to give up soda or juices or whatever it may be, and you slowly build upon that. You're making healthy steps in the right direction, and don't think that just cutting out a couple items can't make a big difference, because it can. It absolutely can. So don't think that because you're starting off like small, quote unquote, or just with just a limited amount of things, that's not going to have an impact, because it will. And again, it's going to have a better impact because it's going to build that solid foundation for you, so you're better able to then build upon it. You're going to be able to maintain it longer. And after a year, if you keep that up, think about how many things you will have cut out of your diet. And we may think, a year, I don't want to wait a year. Like, the next year is going to go by regardless of whether you want it to or not. So you can either be a year from now in way better shape by doing this, or you can try to do one of these crash course diets and maybe have some short-term success for 30 days, and then a year from now be back to square one. So think about long-term here. Fitness is not a short-term game. As much as a lot of people in the fitness industry would make it out to be, it's not. And I don't mean to be harsh on the fitness industry. There's a lot of great people out in the fitness industry doing some amazing things, but there's also a lot of misinformation. It's just like anything. You've got to sift through it, and it can be overwhelming to sift through it. So here are some quick pointers for how to kind of spot things to avoid. First off, if anyone is promising you something dramatic in 30 or 60 days, avoid it. They're trying to sell you something, a magic bullet, a magic pill, and it's not going to work. Second, if something seems too good to be true, it is. If there was a magic pill, if there was this secret workout that nobody knew about that got you shredded or bulked or extreme weight loss in 30 days, don't you think that everybody would have caught on and done it and everybody would be in amazing shape? Don't you think that? There's a reason that all this stuff that you constantly are bombarded with, that there's so much of it out there, because none of it works. And somebody will try it and they'll have some short-term success, and then they'll plummet and nothing will change, and they'll be like, you know what, I'm just destined to be this way. And then they're in a worse place than before they started, because now motivation has been hurt, and it takes more mental fortitude to get back up and try it again. So don't get in the mindset that there's a quick fix, because they're not. Second, there is no supplement that will cure your problem. Taking apple cider vinegar, taking this rare alkaline chalk that's made in the mines of Moria and fetched from Mount Doom by Frodo himself, it's not going to do anything. No, your pH levels aren't all out of whack, and that's why you're gaining weight. It's not the reason. It's because you're eating too much, not exercising. Like, it's very basic. It's very fundamental when we break it down. So just really try hard to avoid all these scams and schemes out there and all these products that are just raking in money because they don't work. All right, I am going to end here. Keep it simple. Keep it smart. Start with the foundations. Make baby steps. And remember that this is a journey. Those are above all else what I want you to take away from this episode. So remember... And if you are on any social media platform, please go check us out. Follow us. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest. You can find us anywhere at Bones to Bulk. Go check out our channels. Again, follow us. Stay in touch. Like, send me a message. I love to communicate with y'all and kind of pick your brain and have you pick mine and just talk about fitness. I love it. So find me on one of those platforms and connect. I would love to meet you. All right, with that being said, remember, no matter what anybody has told you, what walls you're hitting, what crap has not worked for you in the past, you can overcome any goal that you set your mind to. You have got this.